We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
It's time to buckle up for Making Sense of the Madness.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and today we are obviously going to address the Tucker Carlson interview with Conor McGregor and why it's so important that we realize that the issues that we're about to discuss, and I have discussed for now almost 2 decades in the public arena via documentary films, talk radio, commentary, short videos, activism, you name it, it's always about right and wrong. And we have to realize, first of all, that people have blind spots, but that we as a culture have succumbed to celebritardiness. All right? Like, celebritard culture is very, very real, where you get a certain idyllic view of an individual or a group or a thing, right? It can be a movie, it can be a band. I mean, there are a multitude of things that we embrace. And I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong, but when it clouds your judgment on what is objective reality, and when the objective reality is that the person that you're looking at that has brought you so much joy and you have fantasized about meeting or being like or hanging out with is a monster. Now, what really gets me is in our face, we have a multitude of like real examples of these people that were at the height of fame and Hollywood and globally that have now totally and completely been exposed as criminal degenerates on a level most of us can't imagine, right? I mean, obviously the Puff Daddy thing is like huge for my generation. I mean, the one that stems from the 90s on. And you got to understand when you look at like somebody like Bill Cosby, a lot of what he was doing was over at the Playboy Mansion. And it's only like been recently that anybody has taken a second look at Hugh Hefner. Just want to throw that out there. I mean, Hugh Hefner had reality shows. He had documentary series that were dramatized about how great he was for civil rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, as far as the, black and white issues, et cetera, and, pushing women's feminism, I mean, you ask yourself, obviously, the civil stuff is real. Dick Gregory used to speak there, and there's a lot of culture in Playboy. Like, I may do a video fishing out some of the interviews out there that they've done. We just had that Jim Garrison thing. So don't get me wrong, cultural relevance, but mixed with a ton a ton of darkness. Okay? So I want to let everybody know that I'm not about to attack Tucker Carlson by any means, although he should really have the common sense and even the baseline knowledge and done a baseline investigation into Conor McGregor and the sexual assault, multiple allegations, and the violence that he's been caught on camera to say, hey, maybe this isn't the interview with the guy we should be pushing. Let me also say this. You know, Tucker's been on my radar more than usual, although he's a powerhouse and is always there, right? And people are bringing him up to me because of the Kurt Weldon interview that he just did. And I want to remind people, in that interview, he apologized to all those he attacked via 9/11 Truth. Well, guess what? Loose Change specifically was attacked by Tucker, tail end of his broadcast within like the last 2 or 3 years of him being on the air at Fox. You can go watch it. I've never got a personal apology. I'm not expecting one, but I do understand he's doing a documentary series. Again, Tucker, I want you to have all the information, or at least the baseline information of where to do real investigations. I hope that the films and the work that I've done over the years can be that baseline. And I hope that somehow, some way, this gets out to him so he can just look at a baseline of evidence via the Nikita Hand incident that I have been talking about now since January of 2019 when I did my first video. Before there was a hint of Conor McGregor being political whatsoever. Before the victim herself would name McGregor to authorities because she feared for her life and was still in just a severely demonstrable physical and mental state afterwards. That's an accurate statement. And yet, like today, I have to watch people, and I'm not even going to name this guy because he hasn't responded to my last comment, so maybe he's had his come to God moment. But a guy attacking me, telling everybody I'm not a fan and that I'm some kind of like, I'm trying to grab attention or become someone. I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't do stunts. I don't do the easy work. I do what's real. And so, again, he tried to make it into suspicious and he said, she said, in political circumstances. Again, this stems from 2019. This woman wanted a criminal trial. That's fact. And turned down more money, way more money, than she actually got after the civil trial because she wanted to expose this guy and hopefully get that criminal case. And she should get that criminal case. But we're going to talk about why she won't get that criminal case. All right? So with the he said, she said stuff, and this is what we're going to focus on today. There's not going to be, I'm not going to rehash, we're not going to do an hour on all the evidence. But the idea that there wasn't forensic evidence presented in court that this guy did this is crazy. They showed, and we're going to show you this, well, what we can, because obviously we can't see the video, and I quite frankly don't need to. They showed video of her in the ambulance when she was taken there with the medic. And in the video that all the jury saw, her whole underside was bruised, and she had bruises around her neck. And then the medics testified how brutal and violent the assault actually must have been. That the bruising was that extensive. And then there's the tampon. And then there's the, like I said, other incidents. I mean, there's just the incident alone, everybody, of a model being physically attacked, allegedly, but so scared during that physical attack, she jumps off a boat and is rescued by Red Cross, and then has criminal charges up until her car is firebombed. Oh, that's not suspicious. So again, baseline. I wish that Tucker had done this because Ireland's a disaster. You don't want that guy espousing your views if you actually believe your views are correct. And that's how they mix all of this, too. We're going to show you like the mainstream headline and how it's all focused on the political stuff. So you get to delegitimize the fact that Ireland is being taken over by technocratic, authoritarian entities that are trying to consolidate power and have for decades, and in fact documented in my film Invisible Empire, the birth of the European Union through these treaties, right? I mean, God bless Aaron Dykes. I remember when we were doing that segment, he came up with some bang-on footage, man. He just laid it down. He's like, look at what's happening here. And yeah, I don't like the government of Ireland or the UK. I don't like the EU. We saw what they did during the COVID 1984 nightmare. What else needs to be said? So why would you want somebody who, cleaned himself up for this interview, talked about the globalists and a plot from on high, who is literally still on television every single week, coked out of his mind? Seriously. I know that Tuckins is a pretty straight-laced guy, had an alcohol issue, may not judge the nose candy, especially being in D.C. But we got to remember, again, on the peripheral, the crimes this guy is, he blinded a UFC fighter by attacking a bus because his rival was on it. And not really a rival at all. Khabib was the man. Nurmagomedov murdered him. And rightfully was one of the few people of status globally, long before this thing went to trial, to rightfully call Conor a rapist after the fact. I mean, not that I wasn't a huge fan before, but that guy is building water systems and helping people. How often do you hear about him in this country? Never. Because he's part of the big bad Russians. That's a guy that Tucker Carlson should have on his program and talk about those things in a real world scenario. That's somebody that should be admired. Okay? And once again, it's usually these people that, have the talking points, if you will. It's coming from some influencer or some conservative, like Candace Owens really went to bat for McGregor. Well, Candace, if you're really about the truth, like everybody says, maybe you'll see this video and you'll go check out the actual details of the case. So, I've been ranting and raving for over 10 minutes. I need everybody to thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share, because this is truly independent. I've never been backed by a corporate entity whatsoever. No doubt. It's always been independent media that's given me any opportunity. And right now, again, the paid gigs are over, guys. So more than ever, I need you. Chris, again, no voter ID. Thank you. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. The Buy Me a Coffee link is down there. Follow me on X. Check out all the documentary films. And then there are other ways down below. So let's just start here, okay? So like I was saying, Tucker Carlson's Conor McGregor interview, pushing all buttons, blowing all dog whistles, telling multiple untruths. So you go through this thing, and really, what does it do? It focuses on all the political stuff, right? And then at the tail end, talks about McGregor alluding to the fact that they've already tried to tarnish his character. Carlson didn't talk anything about the sexual assault, like in reality. Had no real details. We're gonna show you like a 5-minute clip after the fact about this and kind of like the impact of Ireland, because when I show you the numbers on sexual assault in Ireland, it is disturbing. It is beyond disturbing. Okay? That period. Full stop. Okay? So right here, I want to make this very, very clear. In November, when they had this trial, this is RTE. This is how they could report on it. They showed the footage. Nikita Hand leaves court as the footage showing her inside the ambulance. Yeah, I'd probably leave too if this happened to me. On the morning of the 10th of December, 2018 is shown. The footage shows Miss Hand in pajamas lying down on a trolley in the ambulance. A blood pressure monitor is placed on her. The jury can also see Miss Hand and a paramedic, Athena Scully. Again, they're naming these people who testify in favor of her, pulling down her pajama bottoms to examine her lower limbs. Bruising can clearly be seen on her thighs, as senior counsel Ray Boland for Miss Hand points out. Full stop. It's not contended. It's right there. Do you really think that this woman beat herself? Come on. The footage also shows Miss Hand getting more distressed on the way to the hospital and having a panic attack. She sits up and is comforted by her mother and the paramedic Neil Dempsey. She was mainly worried about the tampon inside her. Because again, when you have consensual sex, that's something you just, yeah. I mean, it's so grotesque and beyond. And so they talk about the intensity of the bruising at the trial. Okay, let me just start it right there. The paramedic who examined a woman who claims she was raped in the Dublin hotel by MMA fighter Conor McGregor has told the jury she has not seen such bruising on a patient in a long time. This woman couldn't get a criminal trial? I mean, this article alone is, right here, as we reported. I mean, this guy said I was reporting bullshiz. Talked about the vast bruising on her neck. It's right here. Her colleague, paramedic Neil Dempsey, the one that's in the video, told the court, he was called to the house on the morning. He said she had visible marks on her neck and breast and was concerned that she had, what's inside of her. He said she told paramedics she had been sexually assaulted and they decided to take her to the sexual assault treatment unit. He said Miss Hand's heart rate was elevated and she had a panic attack in the ambulance, which again, all on footage that they saw. All of it. I mean, it's just, let's continue. So when you look at the conviction rate of this country, it's 2019 numbers. I don't know that it's improved. 8% of the ones that get reported. That's less than 1 in 10 that get reported. How many women are sexually assaulted that don't report it? Now, I'm not a guy out here that's saying that they believe all women and that women don't lie. I mean, again, you look what happened with Trump and that insane woman who, again, when you see her speak and you look at the evidence, it's insane that even went to court, let alone there was a conviction for any amount of money, right? I mean, the lack of evidence, there was no, jury trial. So what do you expect? The fact that happened is not this. 8%? 8%? So, just one more time before we go to this video, and we are going to go to it, okay? This woman was offered almost 4 times as much, okay, as she actually got after the fact 5 years ago. Flatly rejected it. Wanted the criminal case. I don't know what else needs to be said. I would encourage people, and I'm going to tag this under the video on X, okay? This was the police that day. This is why we're reporting on it. This is a tweet from December of 2019, but the truth is we'd been reporting on it since January, and I was just so frustrated that it wasn't going anywhere. At the end of the day, there is no doubt that this young lady suffered a horrendous ordeal. The examinations and all of the evidence shows that she was raped and very badly assaulted in that penthouse suite. All the evidence, okay? Wasn't some. And if you go down through this, you'll also see just some of the other allegations against him that have nothing to do with this woman. The forensic evidence, the fact that, he went in and said this thing was consensual, never denied it, obviously. And you look at these leaks, WhatsApp conversations, it's grotesque. It's all right there. So with that being said, I'm going to let you just watch this woman in this report after the fact and tell me she's a liar.
Nikita Hand has won her High Court case against mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor. A jury at the High Court found Mr McGregor raped Ms Hand in a hotel in Dublin in December 2018 and awarded her almost €250,000 in damages. The jury found that his friend James Lawrence did not assault her. 35-year-old Nikita Hand had sued Mr McGregor and Mr Lawrence for damages, claiming they raped her in the Beacon Hotel in Sandyford in December 2018.
I would like to start off by saying I'm overwhelmed and touched by the support I have received from everybody. First, I want to thank the Coleman legal team and my 3 barristers, John Gordon, Ray Boland and Sean. They have been amazing from start to finish. I want to thank Mr Justice Alexander Owens, the jury, all the witnesses. I want to thank the doctors, nurses and everyone at the Sexual Assault Treatment Unit in the Rotunda Hospital for looking after me, especially my own Dr Frank Clark. I want to thank the Rape Crisis Centre, especially Cleena, who has been by my side throughout this entire period. I want to thank all the guards and the ambulance crew. I want to thank all the women and men out there who have supported me throughout this trial. For every person who reached out to me, a card, a letter, email, everything, it hasn't gone unnoticed. Thank you, I really appreciate it so much. I want to thank my partner Gary, who has been so supportive for the last 4 years and has held my hand throughout this trial every day and every other day. I want to thank my mum and all my family and friends. Lastly, I want to thank my daughter Freya, who I'm most grateful for. She has given me so much strength and courage over the last 6 years throughout this nightmare to keep on pushing forward for justice. I want to show Freya and every other girl and boy that you can stand up for yourself if something happens to you, no matter who the person is, and justice will be served. To all the victims of sexual assault, I hope my story is a reminder that no matter how afraid you might be, speak up, you have a voice, and keep on fighting for justice. I know this has impacted not only my life, my daughters, my family and friends tremendously, and it's something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. But now that justice has been served, I can now try and move on and look forward to the future with my family and friends and daughter.
Conor McGregor was accompanied to court today for the first time by his fiancée Dee Devlin. His mother Margaret, father Tony and other family members also came to support him during the final stages of the action taken against him by Nikita Hand. The judge told the jury at the end of more than 2 weeks of evidence that one side or the other was lying. Nikita Hand told the court she met Conor McGregor on the morning of December the 9th, 2018, after being out all night drinking and taking cocaine at her Christmas party. She said she and her colleague Danielle Keeley thought they were going on to a party with Mr McGregor in the penthouse of the Beacon Hotel in South Dublin. Instead, she told the court, he put her in a chokehold 3 times, then brutally raped and battered her after coming on to her and refusing to take no for an answer. Ms Hand was left with bruising described by a paramedic as the worst she'd seen in a long time. She had to have a tampon removed in hospital by forceps as it was pushed so far into her. She suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder and had to give up work as a hairdresser. But Conor McGregor told the court that Ms Hand was full of lies. He said they had consensual sex twice and there was no distress from her. He said he did not choke her, there was no tampon, and the bruising on her body did not come from him.
And then there's this other guy that he was with, and she has no recollection of having anything to do with this guy. Okay? I mean, the thing felt like a setup from the beginning, and it's sick to me that this was never criminally tried in the manner it should have been. I'm just gonna leave it there. You know, anybody can look into this. Yeah, you're telling me that this woman just like, again, beat herself, did something that's like physically unthinkable. It's just, use your common sense, everybody. Just that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to end it there because it really does upset me. We got to stop just thinking that People aren't capable of terrible things. They are. And when the evidence shows you that, my goodness. Now, somehow, some way, like magical evidence came out on evidence on anything comes out. I'm willing to shift my opinion and admit I was wrong. I hope a lot of other people can do that as well and take this seriously. Now, this guy is trying to run for political office, and that's the last thing that we want. Folks, again, I could use your support. You know the drill. The links are down below, $5, $10, $15. It does mean the world to me. As always, it is not about left or right. It is always about right and wrong. I absolutely love you guys, and we will see you all on the flip side.